Hey guys, and welcome to Jazz Piano Daily. This is number 51, and today we are going to be talking about how to transpose these 2-5-1 licks into new keys. So let's jump right in. All right, so first of all, we have our original lick. This is from Jazz Piano Daily number 44. This was our slick 2-5-1 lick. And so if you need to learn that lick, just go back to Jazz Piano Daily number 44. All right, so this lick is in the key of C. Okay, no sharps, no flats. We're in the key of C, 2-5-1. Okay, so pretty simple 2-5-1 progression. We're in the key of C. Now we want to move to another key. What do we do? So sometimes what you might be tempted to do is say, okay, like let's say we want to move to the key of F. Now the key of F, 2-5-1 in the key of F. If you want to pause the video, see if you can figure it out. It is G minor 7, C7, F major 7. Okay, so G minor 7, C7, F major 7. So now we might say, okay, well G minor 7th is up a perfect fourth. So let me go through and every one of these notes, I'm going to go up a perfect fourth. So that'd be G, and then F is going to be B flat, and then A, right? You could see how this would be very, very time consuming and very difficult to be able to do, especially trying to do it quickly. So a better way that I have found to be able to transpose not just licks, but songs and really anything at the piano is through analysis, right? So you want to analyze what it is that you're doing. You want to analyze what the lick is, what the progression is, whatever it is you're playing. You want to analyze it, and by analyzing it, then you can apply it to another key. So the first step we have to do is we need to analyze what's going on here. So let's just quickly go through this. All right, so you can see here I have my root, my third, my fifth, my seventh, okay? And now, wait a second, well, how are you analyzing this, Willie? Is this by the key or is it analyzing it to the chord? In this case, I'm analyzing it to the chord. Now, another way I could analyze it is I could analyze it all to the key. So I could say this is the second, the fourth, the sixth, the root, the 7, 6, flat 6, sharp 5, however I want to look at it, right? I could analyze it to the key, and I could call that scale degree. So I could say that this is scale degree 2, this is scale degree 4, this is scale degree 6. Let me just pause for 1 second and explain in a little bit more detail what I mean by that. All right, key of C, C major scale. If I number the notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1. Okay, I normally wouldn't say 8, I would just say 1 again. All right, so that means that if I'm playing a D, well, what is that? That is 2. If I'm playing an F, well, what is that? That is 4. If I'm playing an A, what is that? That is 6. If I'm playing C, what is that? That is my root again, okay? If I play B, that's 7, and so on. I could keep analyzing all of my scale degrees, and I could write them above. A lot of times I might put S2, or at least for the first one, so I know that that means it's scale degree number 2. All right, so another way, though, of doing it is analyzing it to the chord. And I like analyzing it to the chord because then you get a better understanding of the inner workings of this lick. So here, I'm playing the root, the 3, the 5, the 7. All right, now before I start going through and saying, okay, well, that's like 13 or 6, and then, okay, instead what I could do is I could kind of see where I'm going with this. All right, and then what I like to do is find my chord tones. So I got a 5th right there, and I got a 3rd right there. Right? And I could kind of see how that's a whole step above that 5th, and then I have what? I have that minor 3rd above the 3rd, okay? So I can also think of this as going to the flatted 5 of my D. However I want to think about it, however I want to analyze it, whatever is going to get me to that sound quickly. Now, a lot of times I might stop right there and say, okay, let me just take that much and now let me move that into another key. So if we're going to move into the key of F, G minor, all right, so I got my root, my 3, my 5, my 7, then I come down to like whole step above the 5th, and then the minor 3rd before I get to the B flat, okay, so. And then this also allows me the time to figure out some good fingering. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, and then I would probably go into my thumb and then cross over 2, and then 3, 2. Okay. And I know I'm going to go to C, because that's the root, and you can see right here on the G, I'm playing what? I'm playing right here, that is the root, right? So I have the root of G, there's my third of G, there's my fifth of G, there's my third of G again, and then here is my seventh of G. So now all I got to do is figure out, okay, well, what's that one, and that one, and that one, okay? Those are the non-chord tones. So I could see that I have G, and I go up to sharp 1, right? So the root, and then sharp 1, okay, or flat 2, however you want to think about it, really doesn't matter. And then I go to my third, and then flat 13 or sharp 5 going up to the 13. I like kind of thinking of it as that half step above the root to my third, and then approaching that 13th, then down to my 5, third, 7, and then I resolve where? Now I resolve to the third of my C major chord. Now, you might look at that and you might say, wait a second, how is exactly this easier? Well, in full disclosure, it's not easier. Not easier in the short run. It's easier in the long run, but not in the short run. Why? Because in the short run, you got to figure out the analysis, and that might be a little bit difficult for you and time consuming and maybe even a bit frustrating. But if you take the time now to do it, in the long run, it's a lot easier because now you understand how the notes that you're playing are affecting and how they're relating to these chords, right? So if you have no idea how these notes relate back to the chord, relate back to the progression, then all you're ever going to be doing at the piano is simply just typing. You're just going to be playing notes without understanding what it is that you're playing, okay? So now let's go through and let's try playing this in a new key. And here we go. So we have... So let's just try playing this nice and slow. Thumb, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. I'd probably go 3, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3. Now, if you end up messing up and then hitting your thumb here, no worries. You could always just come underneath, right? Thumb, second, middle, thumb. Right, so. So don't fret if you hit the thumb there, you forget to cross over, it's okay. In fact, either fingering is perfectly fine. So really it comes up to like, which one do you feel more comfortable with, and do you like actually hitting the thumb on a black note or not? Now, be sure, if you like these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video and leave your comments, please. All right, so let's now add in the iReal Pro track here. Again, if you are a member of Jazz Piano Daily, you get this track to download. And let's just, what we're going to do is we're going to play the D minor, and then we're also going to go to the G minor, I'm sorry, the D minor to the G minor, well, the key of C, then going to the key of F, all right? All right, so let's do this nice and slow. I put it on 100 beats per minute. We'll just do the right hand for right now. Here we go. This gives us a couple of measures to kind of get our bearings, get set up. All right, get back to the D minor chord. Here we go. Ready? Get prepared for the next chord. Good. Get prepared again. Back to the D minor. Now, if you're more advanced, you can start to add in here. right, now, once you feel comfortable with that, well, first of all, before I move on, you see how in here I was adding in some notes, right? And this is just chord tones that I was playing off of the C major 7th or off of the F major 7th. But the point is, in this area in here, if you're a more advanced player and you feel comfortable, go ahead and add in some other stuff. Now let's add the left hand. 2, 3, 4. Get ready for the G minor. Ready, go. Good, right? Now, these licks, they take time, right? So give yourself time and be patient with yourself. If you're going to try rushing through it, you're not going to find success, right? And don't think that you have to transpose these licks into all 12 keys. You do not have to do that, right? Usually, what I suggest is transpose into at least 3 different keys. So if you really want to kind of up the ante a little bit, transpose into 6 keys. Now, if you really want to, develop your skills, go ahead and transpose into 12 keys. It's certainly not going to hurt, but the reason I say not to transpose into all 12 keys, especially right away, is that sometimes students get stuck thinking, oh, I got to do this in all 12 keys in order to get better, and that's not true. You can get better and you can learn improvisation without transposing into all 12 keys. Transposing into all 12 keys takes a lot of time, all right? It is a great, valuable skill to do, but you can always do that later as well, all right? I'd rather see you actually getting your fingers on the keyboard and moving around and doing some improvisation without getting in your head of having to do this in all 12 keys. All right, now, if you want to grab the sheet music and would like to learn more about Jazz Piano Daily, just go back to jazzpianodaily.com or take a look at the card that just popped up in the top right of your screen. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you in tomorrow's Jazz Piano Daily video.